Hi guys. So I just wanted to go over some of the things that I wasn't told when I was first diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, which is quite a long time ago. What nobody told me about chronic fatigue and how to recover. So when I was first diagnosed, which is I think about 2001, I can remember distinctly sitting in my doctor's room and her saying, so yes, the blood tests have all come back negative, so the only assumption we can make is that it is chronic fatigue syndrome. And she said, there's no cure. You have to manage your symptoms by resting, pacing yourself, and some exercise apparently is helpful. That was basically it. There was no formal, here's what you do. And that's fine, you know, doctors had very little information then, and, you know, it's still a bit of a mystery illness for many doctors. So I am not in any way blaming that doctor. She was a really nice person. That was the only information that she herself had. So I am not blaming her in any way. But basically, certainly back in 2001, there was very, very little information. So the advice was pretty vague, and I had to go away and find my own way through it. And it's very interesting, you know, the word she used was there's no cure. Now, a lot of people would take that and go away and think there's no cure. That means I'm stuck with it. But actually no cure, I have since realised, doesn't mean that you can't recover from chronic fatigue syndrome. It just means that there is no specific medication and no quick fix-it method of recovering very, very quickly. No cure does not mean recovery is not possible, but it took me a long time to realise that. So I went away and just felt all I could do was try and manage it. So later on, I went into a really good program. You might want to look this up. It's called the Chrysalis Effect program. And I went into that and I did the whole program and I realised that recovery was possible. And after that, when my symptoms really, really started to improve and I did feel that I had more or less recovered, I developed my own course to help other people recover. And the link to that is below. And just as a sideline to that, I do say in these videos sometimes that I have had recently a few crashes, and I do believe partly it's because I believed that I had COVID at the beginning of 2020, and since then my symptoms did come back for a bit, but I have been working on, they are improving again. I've had to work through and make sure that I'm doing all the right things to recover again. But to go back to, you know, soon after my diagnosis, so my doctor had said rest and pace and some exercise, that was it. So I didn't really know what that meant. I had to find out what that meant. And resting, you know, again, I had to discover for myself that resting with chronic fatigue syndrome is not just about putting your feet up in front of the television or going to bed. So resting, there's a lot of stuff you can do that can really, really help. And that involves things like proper deep relaxation, methods like yoga nidra, meditation and breathing exercises, self-hypnosis. All those things are really, really helpful. Those are not often the kind of things you're going to hear from a doctor. So it's a little more than just putting your feet up. And also what she said was some exercise. Now that was very vague, and we all know one of the main symptoms of chronic fatigue is exertion then creates a worsening of the symptoms. So that was really difficult for me to deal with because I had no idea how to do exercise and not end up worsening my symptoms. And it was only later that I discovered that with exercise, you have to start at an absolute sort of ground zero baseline. And you know what you can do, and start with less than what you can do, and build up very, very, very gradually. So those are just some of the things that I wasn't told, and I have had to learn over the last 20 or so years. And I really, really hope that this channel and the course, which I've mentioned with the link below, will help you to recover much quicker than I did. So that's my story, and please subscribe for more updates, and I will see you again shortly. Bye for now.